Hey team, welcome to another week, another episode of the Virtus Performance Podcast. Before we get stuck into the joy and the knowledge bombs and the banter of this week's episode, I'd like to thank all of you guys for listening. It's cool to keep getting messages and people stopping and chatting about different episodes of the podcast and different areas that we've been able to add value over the last 73 weeks. This week we have episode number 73. We have a returning guest, Grant Rodgers from Jetty Road Brewery. We also have his lifelong best pal in the whole wide world joining us too, the head brewer of Jetty Road Brewery, Blake. So these boys can say something that most of us can't. They've been friends since they were a couple of weeks old. They've been able to grow up and grow and maintain and build their friendship over the last 30 odd years. So as you can guess, the dynamic of people who have been friends for that long is always quite interesting. There's always a lot more going on than meets the eye sometimes, and it's really cool to see how close these two boys are, growing up together and now going into business together. So we took a little bit of a deep dive into that relationship, into what it's like, what their roles are, how it works, what the dynamic looks like. We also talked about their industry and our industry and different areas that they're trying to change, and I guess the similarities that they have had between businesses like Virtus and Common Folk and how we've kind of been able to build friendships around having common goals and the same values around business and life. So I really enjoyed this episode. I hope you do too. I guess it's time to get stuck in. Enjoy. My personal and business goal is to be just a little bit better every day. I believe everyone, especially normal people, have a story to tell. The Virtus podcast exists to help us all find small ways of consistent improvement by discussing the journey and experiences of each of our guests. Lads, welcome.
Afternoon, evening.
Evening? It's evening.
No.
How are we both? Cheers to you all. So we're
You can't not cheers at a brewery.
No, and you got to drink before you put it down, right?
That's right. Yeah. Technically, you're supposed to look each other in the eyes, but we'll let that one slip.
Hey, I haven't taken the gaze away from you, my friend.
That's right. I'm just sitting here like chocolate up.
Oh, hey, Grant. So we're at Jetty Road Brewery. It's a Friday night, and
Evening. Apparently, we decided that just before.
Same. I'm with the brains behind Jetty Road.
No, the brain and the alcoholic.
Yeah. Are you an alcoholic, Grant?
Apparently so.
So what's it like having a brewery? And Grant, we've had you on, so I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Blake. What's it like?
I would say we don't have a brewery.
No, pretty much.
Yeah, we're pretty close. We've got a lot of
Equipment.
we've got a lot of stuff in place.
There's a lot of shiny tanks. There's a lot of shiny tanks and a lot of people drinking beer on the other side. So that's technically a brewery.
There's a lot of money going the wrong way, but it's also looking good. It's pretty close, and we'll be brewing beer soon. And we drink beers. That's what it is.
So you're a brewery that doesn't brew their own beer.
We brew our own beer. We've got a very small system that does it, and we pretend that we are a brewery.
I love that so much. That's fantastic. So for those that have been listening to the podcast for the last year and a bit, Grant was on somewhere around 39, I think.
Yeah.
It was the episode was called Clusterfuck. I think we had you on the afternoon after you opened the brewery.
Yeah, open the venue. Yep.
Open the venue. Yeah. So now we're at the stage where the brewery's about to kick off.
Yeah, I don't know how you did that. Did you know the actual brew house was going in this week?
No.
So this has been an absolute chaos. Well, it's not been chaos. It's been organised chaos. Blake's a lot more organised than I am.
Yeah.
I don't laugh, but you've picked those times where each of us have been absolutely wrecked.
Yeah.
Blake doesn't sleep
This is
because of stress.
clusterfuck. This is clusterfuck
Number
2.0.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I haven't been involved.
The
It's fantastic.
clusterfuck
So I'm sleeping really
returns.
well. Yeah, exactly. For Blake, he's the big wrench. But it's gone really well so far.
What's it like doing something of this scale with your best mate?
Easy.
Okay. And the next question.
Well, no, okay. The first part of the question is, what's the point? How is it doing something of this scale? Shit.
Yeah.
Doing it with your best mate? Easy.
That's cool.
We've known each other since we were 2 weeks old. Yeah.
Do you really know anything when you're 2 weeks old?
Well, no, but you got a lot of time to work on it. We've had every argument you can have. We're basically like having family. So, like, I know that we don't see eye to eye on stuff, and you can work through that pretty easily because we know exactly where we stand with each other through literally 30 years of life. So, it's going to sound wanky, but I wouldn't have done it with anyone else. Like, it wouldn't be easy enough to do it with anyone else. Whereas it's easy with us because even if he's saying one thing, I know what he's saying might be something
you know
else.
what he means, right?
Yeah. So it's easy. That part of it's easy. The rest of it isn't.
The whole like running a business and producing beer and selling it to people and
trying to upgrade gas meter, water meter, electric meter. It's like dealing with Telstra 3 times over.
Yeah, that'd be fun. What about you? How's it been dealing with this peanut?
Yeah, good. I think.
That was less emphatic, by the way.
Yeah. No, I think it's been really good. I think as Blakey said, I wouldn't do it with anybody else, and it's taken us more than 6 years to get to where we are, and it's taken us a lot more money, a lot more work, a lot more time, a lot more stress, a lot more grey hair than what we probably knew, which I suppose was everybody else in business that does things like that. But
ignorance is bliss at the start,
yeah, exactly.
right?
But I think, the way the business runs and the way it's set up, I think it's perfect. Blake's the brains behind all of our beers and passion, and we both agree with that and the strategy and the vision. But I do the boring business stuff. I follow the paperwork. I do the numbers. I manage the people, and Blake focuses on the beer and driving that forward. And I think it just, having an understanding of what we're good at and the areas that we are responsible for works really well. And 30 years of yelling at each other, going on benders, going to primary school, high school, travelling together, all that sort of stuff rolls into, and I think it could, people say don't go into business with your family. Well, Blake's family, but you need to set boundaries and know what you're good at and when to have the discussion and when to pull each other up and then know when you're having a bad day. So it's worked so far pretty good.
You can't be successful in business without trusting someone.
Yeah.
And how can you trust anyone more than someone you've known for your entire life?
I didn't bring the shout out bell, but if these two kiss at any time, I'll start clapping so you guys will know. This is the most love I've seen you two share with each other.
Yeah, we generally get
We'll get it out of the way.
Married couple because we just bicker.
Well, I've been told by my parents now that have listened to 2 of my podcasts that I don't speak very well, and I'm very aggressive and submissive, and I swear a lot, so I'm just trying to be nice.
And contradictive.
Aggressive and submissive are fairly two contradictory terms.
All at the same time.
When did you know that, and this is a question to both of you, when did you know that it was going to be what it is?
Never. It's evolving.
Yeah.
Everything kind of evolves as we keep moving forward, and we've got some stuff in the pipeline that will eventuate over the next 12, 18 months.
Yeah.
We didn't expect 12 months ago, and there's always plans and there's always moving forward, but everything, the thing about craft beer as well is just evolutionary. It's so new that everything is changing and everything's new all the time. So to say that we knew exactly where we wanted to be and what we wanted to be is long.
It's a tough one, right?
We've got with, and we're happy where we're at.
How did, and I think Grant's kind of like half told this story, didn't tell it very well, so I'm going to ask you, where did it start? How did it start? Was it just genuinely just a love for beer?
I think that now where we're at, there's so many different people involved that they're started differently for every person.
Yep.
I started homebrewing with my now ex-boss, but one of the original members of Jetty Road, and that's kind of where it started for me. It was just homebrewing.
Yeah.
And then from that, I got a passion for it and sort of built the bar as a cabinet maker at Mornington Brewery.
Yeah.
And that sort of led me to being introduced to the head brewer and the owner, and kind of I just offered my time and did the shit work and raked bins out, swept floors and closed tanks down, and then kind of got to the point where they let me brew with them, and got to the point where they let us brew Jetty Road there. So
that's cool.
That's where I started.
Yeah.
But that's substantially different for Grant in terms of where the idea started with him, and then where we kind of intersected is what I guess Jetty Road started as, and then the story kept moving forward from there.
Yeah. Was it we're gonna have a brewery, or was it just like, okay, we're brewing beer out of Mornington now, this is cool, what's next, and then just like step by step from there?
We wanted a brewery before we started brewing in Mornington.
Yeah, so that was always kind of like a dream.
We had this factory.
Well, yeah,
So we had this factory, so we had ambitions to be where we are and what we're doing. But I think it's the pace in which it's growing is far exceeds what we expected, which is good.
Yeah.
Really good. So
not a bad problem to have.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I think what we've got here is exactly what we planned to have straight. I think off the bat, I think it's a bit bigger than some other ambitions that we had from other shareholders, but they're really on board now, and I think it's. It is. We had a meeting, like we're literally sitting on the table. I think we had most of our board meetings when we started, and we
you can pick these up for about $40 at Bunnings too.
Yeah, and it's not well looked after. And we actually had a meeting up here on a Friday because we actually couldn't get a table in the venue because it was packed.
Good problem to have.
We sat here and it was a bit of a surreal moment because we've created something where people can come and celebrate and sharing the good life which we've created and we believe in. So it's really really cool. So
do you guys give yourself that chance to kind of stop and reflect and look at how everything's going?
Not a chance. No, and even if you try it doesn't work. Not really. I don't think that'll ever happen. I honestly don't.
We take again, it's an evolving beast all the time. So there's always something to do and there's something achieved. And
always.
We live in that middle of that place the whole time. So it's so quickly moving that you never actually sit there and necessarily enjoy it. Every now and then we try and take some time out to recapture the friendship that we have outside of this place. We've had a pretty stressful week sometime, and we went and played X golf and basically challenged each other. Put your phone face down on the table. First person to touch it buys a round of beers.
Good.
And the first person to talk about work buys a round of beers.
Yeah.
We walked out legless.
Yeah, 15 seconds later.
Yeah, pretty much. You're looking at me because I picked up my phone.
I know it was you.
Yeah.
You had your phone in your hand 8 seconds ago.
I was just checking something.
What's it been like as that friendship's evolved over the years to go from being mates that kind of had a dream of opening a brewery to, and if anyone hears background noise, it's because we're in a brewery, but deal with it. How does it go from being mates that wanted to open a brewery to mates that are now running a brewery and soon to be fully up and about operational? Do you guys have to force that hand in terms of looking after each other and spending time with each other, or do you just kind of take it as it comes?
I think it's more like we still understand each other, and I know when I've probably put too much pressure on or gone too far across the line, so I know just pull back.
Yeah.
And Graham probably knows the days that he doesn't need to talk at me or talk to me. So in terms of in business, it's fine. It's just we don't have a lot of time in our lives to even see our partners, let alone spend time just purely as friends. But I think we still have, in terms of business, a really good balance of friendship within that as well. So we don't look at each other and talk business. We talk as mates within business.
And I think it's really easy to try and separate that all the time. You don't necessarily have to if you're doing cool shit together, whether it's business or whether it's out of business, doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and also remove Grant from the whole thing. I think both of our philosophy is that we want to make, and I think Curtis is the same. It's business is family. The best way to get the most out of yourself and the most out of everyone else that you work with is to create a family where everyone is appreciated, everyone works together, and everything is collusive and conducive, and everything is together. So regardless of whether we're butting heads on something, it's all still within the same dream and the same push forward.
Yeah. What is the, I guess, vision? And this is a question for both of you. I want Blake to answer it first. Like, what's your the vision for Jetty Road? What do you want it to be? Where do you want it to go?
You go, and I'll just. He said you, and I'll just copy what you say.
I said you.
I think this is always fractionally different for different people.
Yeah.
Because obviously Grant's in a different sector of business than I am.
Can't give the same answer.
Yeah.
By the way.
Oh, well, absolutely can.
It's the rules.
What if I agree with it? what actually, before he goes, there's been 3 instances this week where we have been asked by investors or people outside the business about something about this business, and without even, not that we sit down and go, right, this is the strategy, this is what we're talking about, this is the points we hit every time. We answer the question exactly the same.
You're just on the same bandwidth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that, which is actually, I think that was yesterday. That's really comforting to know that it doesn't matter who asks. We don't have to have that. And of course, it's good to have different answers from different people, but to know that we're on that same strategy and the big picture without even organically, it's really exciting. Or it's sad. Well, it's very sad because we spend way too much time together. Yeah, agree.
It's pretty cool though.
It's the thing for me is, from a beer point of view, is I want to be the best I can be at making Jetty Road beer the best beer it can be.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, it goes back to why I got into it. And for me, beer and pubs, it's all about people coming together. You very rarely, in our venue, but any pub, you see people sitting there sitting on their phone.
Yeah.
Whereas beer culture is quite similar to coffee culture. But if you go to a coffee shop, people are on their phone. Whereas in a brewery or a bar or a pub, people are actually sitting around talking to each other. And I guess that's part to do with alcohol releasing inhibitions. But it's the last kind of avenue where people actually just get together and talk freely. And it doesn't have to just be the same old question of, what did you do today? How's your job? How's your life? How's the wife? How's the kids?
People start diving into the other stuff.
Yeah, and that's, for me, that's the biggest thing about alcohol, and that's why I love making beer, is because I actually get to bring people together for a job.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool to kind of see that vision kind of take hold. We're sitting up here in the above the cool room, next to all the what are those things called again? Shiny tanks. Next to all the shiny, they're actually really shiny right now.
I'm glad the managing director answered that question.
and you can kind of see into the into the venue, and you can see everyone kind of hanging out and talking shit, and I can't see anyone on their phone, so that's one.
That's true. It's just me.
That's one. that's one to the brewers and 0 to the coffee snobs who. Everyone sits on their phone looking at their coffee.
People starting the day. They need to
catch up.
Yeah, they need to get everything going, and that's what coffee's for. And again, that's a generalisation. There's plenty of places you go to in coffee shops where everyone's obviously interactive.
Yeah.
Mainly common folk where Virtus and common folk collide.
We collide a little bit.
Yeah. So it's just the Jetty Road now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But every other
we can't come here. We can't come here for breakfast after training in the morning though.
No, this is true.
It's a little far away.
Yeah, it wasn't a slide on coffee culture. It's just that there's.
You throw a shade, man. It's okay.
You go on.
I feel like you. Anyway, moving on.
Public transport, anywhere you go in life, everyone's on phones.
Yeah.
Even this tool goes to common folk every morning, and he sits on his computer.
Not anymore.
Oh, so now you're not working?
No.
He's been pretty good.
I start at 4, mate.
He's been.
I start at 4 to catch up on those emails, and then I go to gym.
Grant's been fairly present this week.
Very present.
But I'm expecting the Grant to do what Grant does and knock over a week, and then Monday morning will come around and 6 a.m.
This isn't a slamming session. I don't need this.
6 a.m. will come through, and he'll still be asleep. But you've had a good week.
I was here last night, and I locked up, so technically, and I just didn't have the.
Didn't see it this morning.
Bit sore.
Bit sore.
Yeah.
Funny what happens if you get 3 hours sleep.
No. That's the thing. I was late here, so I thought it's not worth getting up, and I wanted to get my sleep.
I feel like it's just because Katie's stronger than you.
Yeah, true. Well, yeah, and boss. So.
Shout out to the boss. So from your end, Grant, like, is the vision being kind of like, are you moving towards the vision? Is everything kind of going the way you want it to, from a business point of view?
Absolutely. Yeah. I want as many people to experience Jetty Road, and not just the beer. The beer is fundamental, but not just the beer, but what Blake was talking about. It's that
connection.
And that's the thing. It's the whole thing about independent brewers and craft beer, is that's what everyone's striving to be. It's that, you know, try the beer that we love making, but also the atmosphere that it produces. And I think we just met Ocean Reach Brewery in Phillip Island today, and we had a beer with him, and he just put his brewery in, and him and Blake started talking up straight off. You know, they've just put a brewery in, talking the same thing. We sat over in their venue and had a chat, and it was just no phones out, just chatting. And
that's cool.
Just, you know, reliving what they're going through, and yeah, it was really cool. And I think that's the exciting part. So my vision on a big picture is, I think that, you know, there's heaps of craft breweries popping up, independent craft breweries, because there's a difference now. I think the big guys have now used that word craft, which is, you know, a bit of a
buzzword,
but you know, a buzzword, exactly. So independent is something really important to us, and I think growing independent craft breweries in Australia is massive, and I think there's one popping up every 5 days now, which is just awesome. But it's to take it to the big guys, you know. Bolter's killing it. They're doing, you know, heaps, millions of litres a year nationwide, but Furphy, CUB, smashing out 16 million litres in Victoria. So I want more people to try independent craft beer, and that's my task. So that's the big picture for us. So it has to work with every other independent brewer to get there. And I don't, you know, anyone wants to do, you know, collaborations and, you know, events at the same venue, all that sort of stuff. I just want to be really cohesive and you know, collaborative. So
it's a cool way to look at it, because I think it's really easy for the little guys, for lack of a better term, to kind of like butt heads and kind of fight amongst themselves. But if you've got bigger picture in mind, you realise that all the isn't there like 2 or 3 companies that own majority of the beer in the world, something like that?
Yeah, pretty much.
So, you know, you kind of, there's no point fighting amongst yourselves and squabbling amongst yourselves, when if you're collaborating with each other and actually growing your slice of the industry, then it's only going to make what you do stronger.
Well, the thing about that as well, and this is what I'm really passionate about, is that people need to understand is, you go into a pub and you see your Carlton Draft and what else is there? Your
Great
Carlton
Northern.
Dry, your Great Northern, your Little Creatures. Those guys are there, and they've paid money to be there, and they also have a lot of clout behind them. Whereas you see a craft beer, and it doesn't matter whether you like the brand or you know of it or not, those guys are fighting for that one. We're all fighting for that one tap at the end. So all of those breweries that you don't know are fighting for that one tap. And if you go in there, try it out, give it a go, because you don't know what it's going to be like. And that's the exciting thing about craft beer as well, because you might try a completely different beer you don't like drinking, like your amber, your IPA. It's not just your draft or your pale ale. They're trying something different, or they're doing something different in another brewery. It's not just made at 20 million litres of beer made in one big batch, and they're just fucking it out the door.
And it's all the same,
It's made with love and care and, you know, absolute passion. I'm not saying that, you know, those guys that brew the beers at Carlton Draft aren't doing it with passion, but it's on a smaller scale, and there's more people behind those businesses. So,
and for us, it's about education. I love the education part of what we do, because, you know, you can come here and see exactly where we brew it, how we brew it, and what goes into it. Yeah. And you know, then people were more inclined to go and try and buy that from the pub down the road and go, right, where's that independent local beer that we want, because we know exactly how it's made versus a multinational. And at the end of the day, we're not fighting for that one tap at the end of the bar, we're fighting for the other 7. And we want
I like what you said there. It's really
we want all of us to have those taps, and not them. And we want it to be a fair fight. Like, I'm happy to fight with Carlton over taps. I just want to fight in a fair fight where there's not a contract for the other 6.
It's about the quality of the actual beer and what it means, rather than...
I'm happy to sit there and go against every other craft brewery in Australia and go, righto, the best pale goes on tap. No worries. You know, this demographic prefers that pale ale. put them on. But like, I'm not happy to go against a multinational that goes, we own all these taps and you guys get 2 at the end. Like, that's unfair.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, I'm happy to go toe to toe with Carlton Draft.
I like that.
If it's,
challenge accepted.
If it's in a fair fight.
Are you starting to see a little bit of a resurgence with pubs and brew houses and things like that looking for more craft beers, like independent craft beers rather than going for the big dogs? Or is it kind of money wins kind of situation?
I think it's definitely it's shifting, but I think that's also been somewhat mitigated by the buyouts of Pirate Life, Four Pines, Feral. Is the whole thing is to then try and tie those tap points up again and offer them a craft version that they would already have been buying. Going, right, you know, if you surveyed enough pubs in Australia and went, right, Feral, Pirate Life and Four Pines are the numbers, like the 1, 2 and 3 on tap in every other venue, buy those 3, then we can offer them the tap deal again, and they don't have to change anything.
Yeah, okay.
So
you've opened Pandora's box, mate. We can complain for days.
No, I don't. I just think it's really interesting because I find it funny and kind of like expected that everyone in every industry, like the little guys, kind of are frustrated by the way, like the clout or the ownership that the big guys tend to have over such a large chunk of the industry. Like from a fitness industry point of view, like we've got our, you know, Anytime Fitnesses, F45s, Good Lifes, Jets, all of those kind of like big guys that just go, yeah, cool, we'll open 48 different little gyms in a space like a 50k area, right? But
this might sound strange, but I feel like we're fighting the same fight.
Yeah, 100%.
Virtus is creating a family.
Yeah, a community of people.
Exactly. Whereas these guys are just going, we're conglomerating.
Yeah.
And I that's, you know, we don't have to talk all about craft beer because I'm a craft beer wanker. Like, I like talking about philosophy as well. Like, I feel like you guys are creating something, and you especially, obviously, you're driving a standard that you believe in, and you're also driving people to you because of your philosophy and that you want to be inclusive of people, not exclusive of people.
Yeah.
You're not sacrificing on quality to do that.
It's almost a like it's almost a, they miss the big kind of, we call it like big box gyms is kind of like one of the terms we use, and like you guys probably have something similar.
Dickheads.
Fair. Don't rub anyone the wrong way, but carry on. Yeah, that's it. It's kind of like they miss the point of it all, and like, you know, having that, like they'll get a couple of big fitness influencers that are doing shit the wrong way anyway, and they'll miss the whole point of understanding the need for pale. Thanks, Grant. Grant's going to get beer.
I'll go to IPA.
You're pretty much in charge.
Alright, I can roll.
Good, I like it. What are we talking about? Oh, they kind of miss the importance of the community and a connection and the quality that most people and, you know, most of the managers and the coaches and things like that at those big box gyms, the reason they got into the industry in the first place was a connection with people that they haven't necessarily gotten to know yet. It's the desire to want to change people's lives. It's the importance of community and family around training, which is what they're doing. And like for me now, like I'm at the point where the training and the sets and reps and the exercises we do, it doesn't fucking matter really. If you create an environment where people want to be and people want to connect with each other, and then you give them a really good fucking product at the end, then you're doing the right thing for the right reasons. And that's what the big guys miss, I think. And sometimes
I think they also, like, if you walk into so whether it's Carlton Draft or it's whatever fitness, I'm not going to name any because like,
oh man, it's fucking heaps.
First time
Good Life, right?
Anytime, like 20, all those 24-hour gyms, all that sort of stuff, they're run on, all right, what's our margin? Not how can we do the best thing for our... And like, I haven't been to the gym in 10 years, and I started coming to the gym again for a couple of reasons. One, because I needed a mental escape from what I'm doing, and two, because I knew I could come to Virtus and I could have not just going to the gym to lift something heavy and put it back in the same place.
Yeah.
It was there's a community sense there. There's also a sense of care there. People actually communicate. It is a pub without beer for me.
Yeah, I like that.
For me, that's good. Well, for me, like the best
On our new marketing material, we are a pub without beer.
And for
Good.
me, the best pub in the world, like when I say best pub in the world, it's a TV show. But because for one reason, it's not run on margin.
Yeah.
And when I tell you what it is, you'll understand. And the other one is because it is literally a family. It's the Cheers bar from Cheers.
Yeah, good.
If that was run as a business, they'd be broke because there's 6 people in there and they're not fucking making money.
If they
But
love each other.
everyone goes there every day and they are a family, and that is exactly what we do here, but we just try and have a bigger family, and I feel like that's what Virtus does, and you guys want to have a big family. But like, we do what we do because we love it, and then that attracts people that are going to love it, and then
and I think it's really like family starts becoming a little bit selective in terms of people that will contribute and people that are like-minded, that are all believe in the same things. And I think I used to, like, people call us a cult at times and call common folk a cult, and I'm sure that like that word's probably been thrown around with you guys in terms of like growing that community around, like, on the peninsula. Like, that's kind of almost, if you look at it the right way, like almost a badge of honor, because you're growing a culture of people that all want the best for each other and all want the best for the community and for the place you're in and for this, like, suburb or area that you're in. And if they're doing that and wanting the best, then everyone wins. There's no, like...
If you look at every group of people in the world, there is an equal and exact opposite. So you could be a Buddhist and you've got your opposite. Like, it doesn't matter what your idea is. If there's enough people together at once, you've got the exact opposite of you hating it. So it doesn't matter what you do. You're going to have enemies. All you got to do is be true to what you want to be, and you will find the people that want to do what you want to do, and
just being genuine.
Create something that you love and that is consistently you. Whereas the big joints go, right, how do we get the best margin out of this? And it doesn't matter about the people that are involved. If we get enough people involved, they don't matter. Yeah,
I think like capitalism eventually wins out if it gets to a certain size. Like, do you guys foresee a future where you're starting to teeter on the edge of being that size?
I think size is irrelevant.
Good.
Because, there's been so many different differentiations of... This is why it's now independent brewing, not craft beer or anything like that, because there's too many different ways to define it, and like, it shouldn't matter how much beer you make. We're an independent company, and we could make 100 million litres a year, but as long as we stay true to the ethos that we feel like we want to be doing, and it is based around the exact same thing as what we're doing, sitting in a shed at the moment, standing over top of a couple of stainless steel fermenters, it shouldn't matter whether that's 10 million or 200,000 litres we can do here. So,
and people don't know either. No, people don't know how much beer you produce. It's about the philosophy and what you believe in, I suppose.
And then it's about independence and like what message are you sending? We're sending a consistent message that we're A, independent, but B, we're about bringing people together and having a good time and doing that through a product that we love.
It's relatively delicious, so good from you.
I try.
That's as good as it's going to get with you.
I give it a crack.
Okay, so every session that you do training is the best thing you've ever done?
Oh, no.
Do you feel like you can improve? Your whole philosophy is be excellent and be better every day.
Good. Don't be shit.
It's exactly the same thing as me. And if I go, man, that's the best pale ale you'll ever drink, I can't improve on that. Because it's the best thing you're ever going to drink.
Oh, mate, every time I run a session, I go, okay, this is going to be the best session I've ever run. Every time I finish a session, I'm like, okay, that was shit. I got to improve here, and here. Every time I write a program, I'm like, best program I've ever written. And then a week in, you're like, okay, that sucked. That was rubbish. This was in the wrong spot. Whatever. And I assume you guys are exactly the same in terms of like the need for quality. You'll probably never be happy with it.
And if you are,
or happy with it, you'll never be like super duper like this is the best beer you ever drink.
What's the you know better than me. What's the stat on businesses that fail in the first couple of 5-7 years?
I couldn't tell you because I don't give a fuck about that information.
Well,
I honestly don't.
It's
People
such-
say that, it's like, who cares?
It's a simple
It's
reason.
not good statistics, so why focus on it?
Well,
Yeah.
Like, I get your point.
Okay,
I understand
so
what you're saying. It's not good.
the flip side of that is why it's important.
You're,
So, I know you
you're,
were asking me for a reason. You're propping you up.
you're meant to back your mate
I know,
up,
yeah, but I wanted
and he
to-
gave him fuck all.
Whinge about something, so that's typical.
That's my life.
Continue.
But I knew that was going to happen because we know each other forever. But like, the companies fail because they don't stay relevant.
Yeah.
They don't improve. They don't continue to try and get better. They go, we've got a good thing. That's it. Done. We've done it. Like, the good thing about beer is like, I don't know, like our pale ale sells well, but Mornington's pale ale sold brilliantly for the first 6 years, and there was nothing else down here.
Yeah.
And they're nationwide, all that sort of stuff. But you can't just go, righto, we've got something good and that's it and
Yeah.
done.
There's got to be.
You've got to stay relevant.
Yeah.
You've got to stay like
That's what
progressive because
years, though.
my philosophy of beer is like, right, we have, you know, the core range of staples that people will go, I'm only even going to drink that. That's cool.
Yeah.
And
So
then
you got the pale, you got the 3/4 IPA,
it's, I would say it's
7/8.
like
7/8
oh,
IPA.
yeah, I was going to go with
7/8 IPA.
Yeah.
Did you ask for one, by the way? I gave you an IPA.
I asked for an IPA. Yeah.
I don't know what bar stuff you're doing. Not very efficient.
It's a little I and then capital PA. So
Yeah, cool. No, that's fair. Cool.
I
It's
didn't
delicious anyway.
design the packaging. They spelt it wrong. So
Oh, so it's kind of like it just
Oh, yeah, okay,
covers.
that's fair. No, I can say that.
covers
That's
up your mistake.
miscommunication on your behalf, Bill. Don't try and pass that off.
So
but
IPA is meant to be 6%, right?
IPA is by
Definition.
if you want to win an award, 6%.
Yeah. So you're just going the hipster route of going, you know what, we don't want to win awards, we just want to have a good beer.
I want to make a beer that people A enjoy drinking, B feel like they can have
Yeah.
more of. And again, I probably shouldn't tell you this because we've got legs out of the IPA, but our pale ale probably isn't even technically pale ale.
Holy mother of
telling
God.
you, this is-
That's outrageous. That is absolutely outrageous. See, Grant, well, I was going to ask you a question, but I'll ask you when you get back. So,
I can answer his questions. I've known him long enough.
what's the most challenging aspect of being a brewer in a company that's trying to make a difference in the industry?
Not having a brewery.
Okay, we're aware.
That sounds
Yeah.
stupid, but
No, it's fair.
It's literally the biggest difficulty for me is
Yeah.
because I've got an avenue of X amount of products.
Yeah.
And no real variety around that, and the cost of us releasing something else
Yeah.
is almost. So we've basically put beers on here
Yeah.
through our pilot system, and then we've expanded and put some other beers on through contracting. That's almost running at a loss, just so that we can
Yeah.
introduce people to more things.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is fine, that's kind of what we want to do, but not having a brewery behind us makes my life extremely difficult.
Yeah, I can imagine.
As a brewer.
Yeah.
And it also makes me seem very one-dimensional.
Yeah. Has it been a frustrating? How long's the venue been open now?
Nearly 12 months.
Nearly 12 months.
We're December 21st.
That's insane.
So 2 months.
So nearly 12 months. If you went
Hang on, let's not.
This won't be out for a couple of weeks, so we can push that closer to almost 12 months.
Exactly.
Well, right now.
Thanks.
I've known you for a year.
Right now it's 10, so we can just play on with that.
How good's that? So what's it been like not like as a brewer, as a head brewer of Jetty Road Brewery? What's it been like not having a brewery for 10 months?
This is a difficult question to answer because this could be another podcast 12 months from now.
Yeah.
Because I can make assumptions based on not having a brewery. But it has been extremely difficult because I've had to have a tiny pilot system and try and keep something different on at our bar at all times. But not make it so drinkable that I can't get another beer out before that beer is gone.
Yeah.
Managing a building project of a brewery that is, I'm not going to say the exact number, but expensive.
Yeah.
and it deals with government bodies, all the fun stuff that you...
There would have been a lot of red tape, right?
Extreme amounts.
Yeah.
And all at the same time trying to maintain a quality craft beer program through contracting where I don't have a hell of a lot of control, and trying to make sure we have a consistent product over probably 9 breweries over the last 9 breweries.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys used 9 breweries.
In 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
So from Wangaratta down to St Andrews. So trying to do all that at once has been stressful.
And set this place up to be ready to go.
Yeah. But enjoyable. Like, I wouldn't trade what I do now for anything in the world. It's just, there's days where you don't sleep because there's 11 things going through your head at once.
It's not a number, mate.
11
It's technically a number.
Play on.
Jetty Road.
Yeah, good backup. What's been your...
I'm going to make an IPA called 11 Team.
No, you're not.
And this is how the decision-making process works.
No, it doesn't work like that, but yeah.
What's been your kind of biggest challenge over the last 12 months? Like, and I know that... and I know that
people.
That's a clusterfuck of a question, but
Yeah, no, I don't know. Fuck, Jesus. I honestly
It's got to be people.
It's people, 100% people.
Yeah.
Every day of the week.
What? Why?
Numbers don't lie to you, but people are tough.
People are tough to manage. All the time.
Yeah. Why?
Especially me.
Because they're all different. Chaos. There's different reasons as to why they do what they do, and there's just. But I think it's not just that. People aren't hard to manage, and they all want the best for themselves, but also others.
Yeah.
But it's also trying to be a small business, but then also having we have 38 staff now, and to have 2 businesses running at the same time, to manage operations and then the people inside them and the shareholders at the same time is just crazy.
Like, so from my point of view, looking at Grant, and this is going to sound like you're going to make us kiss again, but like
we've done all the nice things today. I'm not saying
to have 38 staff and 14 or whatever in people invested, and people, what we were saying before, trying to create a family, but to then try and make one simultaneous direction consistently out of that amount of people,
it's tough.
Is a difficult task, and it's Grant's job. And
hit a bag.
And every one of
do
those.
your job, Rod. Shut up.
Every one of those, 40, 50 people, at some point or another, including me, will probably put pressure on Grant and go, hang on, man, what about my direction? And that's a difficult position to be in. But do your job. He's wearing like $550 shoes, so it clearly works.
They are the fanciest shoes I've ever seen.
They're literally just Iron Williams, but that's fine.
On yellow tongue and with a Bunnings table, so
I was not going to miss that opportunity.
No.
Cool. I'll play on.
I would have bring that up at the end. Like,
I'm just surprised you're wearing a clean shirt, so don't start.
Who said I didn't just pinch it off the shelf earlier?
Because that's an old tee. Anyway, moving on.
Good.
Did we do it?
No, we're not done yet.
Oh,
We got plenty to go. I'm more like, I love this dynamic because there's...
You're not getting the true dynamic because we're trying to behave.
Don't behave.
I know.
All right, so everyone... if anyone's listened to the last 40 minutes or so...
If this goes downhill, it goes downhill.
I'm all about it. We get the story. We get how it's worked. How is this, like, I guess, relationship going to grow and develop over the next few
I
years?
don't think it can grow anymore. I honestly don't think. I think
Because it's very cool to see. Yeah. So
bringing back personality, as Blake said, we he can see where I'm struggling. Like today, we probably both did need to go down and do something at Phillip Island, but it was a good chance to. I saw Blake and do what he's done this week, and I can see him crashing and burning. To be able to go, right, let's go and grab some food, let's grab a few beers, let's chat to a couple of breweries, because that's exactly how he started. He started by going around and visiting breweries and trying beer and experiencing different things. But to be able to do that is good. But I don't think It's hard. It's even just sitting at lunch or in the car ride home and listening to a podcast. It's like it's either business or we're not talking.
Yeah.
Not all the time. Like, there's a lot of banter and a lot of shit talk, but it's a lot of business.
It's funny, like
because we both live and breathe it as well.
We haven't been like. This is the first time you've asked this question. This is not pre-recorded, but we've not had that conversation before. I think we both sort of sit there, and that's how much we know each other. Is that like I think we both feel like it's hard to. Like, are we losing the friendship part of it for the business part of it? Which we're not going to do that, but like the line get blurred pretty easily, and so we try and take. It's never going to be the overwhelming thing. Like we can't just be best mates all the time and that's it.
Because you're a fucking 70% of the time.
There's too much.
It's very hard to manage.
There he is.
But like we still go, that's enough. We need to just go and be best mates again. And like today was a good example of just there was no it was business, but it was a day that we just went right. This is not business that we normally do. So let's just go and hang out and solve problems, but in our way. I'm pinching my drink. They say this is friendship. This is because any other person in the world.
He only took 12% of it though, so which is about three. Which is about 3 times the strength of your IPA. Yeah, and
it's like it's
pretty good.
We don't even have to have a conversation. We're pretty aware of where we sit, so it kind of just naturally gets to the point where we rectify it.
Yeah,
that's why I say I wouldn't have gone into business with anything else because we'd have to talk about it.
And it's a tough thing to do when you both live and breathe it and are so passionate about it. Because I think, but it's almost like I don't think you have to be apologetic about talking about work all the time. Because I think a lot of people have a vision of what work should be, and it's okay. There's work life and there's life.
It's only if we've got a double date without.
Does that happen often?
We've had a few, and I pretty much think the girls just look at us and go, "Righto, fuck it, we'll just."
It'd have to be like them going hanging out, and you guys going hanging out. And how do you go? And this is an individual question for each of you, and because it's obviously different for everyone. But how do you go managing everything that you manage day to day, and then managing relationships and developing and fostering that? Because it's something that I'm sure any business owner would agree, and anyone that really dives into their work would agree. But that's almost the hardest part.
I'm going to preface it before Grant talks. I'm going to let him talk first. But Grant also has to do this with Katie. Not has to. They do it together. But that again, is, to me,
the relationship or the working.
But like you've obviously Katie's part of the business, and it's I can see how that would be a very difficult thing.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be a tough thing to front up every day if you didn't have that kind of like strong connection and ability to have conversations around it all.
Yeah, agree. I think that's just trying to solve.
Yeah, we have some visitors.
And like for me, like I got obviously a relationship with a girl who's Sarah's at uni, so she's got plenty of stress of her own.
Yeah,
I've got a lot of stress, and to keep our whole relationship felt like it's been like a battle that we're pushing together, not to each other, but just against life. And it's kind of it works for us, not against us.
Yeah,
we kind of each other keeping pushing forward.
Yeah,
and it's it's difficult, but again, that's to me what makes me feel like we're in the right relationship because it's easy to.
She puts up with your shit.
Yeah, and I know.
God, I'm good.
I put up with this.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Too late. It's way too late for that.
She'll listen to this. She'll agree.
Good from you. It's it's a cool kind of. I love talking to like Sammy from Common Folk about how him and Eliza deal with it all, and you guys are obviously kind of in a similar position where, and like I feel the same way with like KP. Like you get so much support at home, and it's cool and it's enjoyable, and you appreciate it so much more when it all works. and when it all kind of everything's moving forward at once, no matter how hard it is, like that.
Yeah.
I use the term positive pressure. Like it's going to be hard. Yeah, there's going to be times where I just want to go home and go to sleep, and you guys are probably going to do the same. And there's going to be times where you're here all night and you don't necessarily have as much sleep as you want, but that positive pressure is working towards something that's like bigger than you as individuals and your partnerships as well. So it's almost like a necessary sacrifice to the vision and the area that you're actually trying to work towards.
And it's a battle together. Like it's almost like solidifying. Like
Teammates.
Yeah, exactly. And that, I think, I think if you're not in the right relationship, it can be the opposite.
Yeah.
It's almost, perfect when it is. You go, right, we've got me and Sarah have both got our own different battles, but some days I come home and I'm just burnt out, about to crash, and thank God that's a day where
she's up and about.
Yeah, and she's able to, she helps me through everything. But, then there's days where she's studying and she's about to crash and burn on an essay, and I feel like we actually had this conversation last night or the night before. It's like we literally tell each other the exact same thing. We're going through the same stuff. Yeah. It's just we're like sounding boards to each other, and it's just a motivational thing that we know exactly where we're both at.
And that's what a relationship needs to be.
Yeah.
And that's obviously what your relationship is together.
Yeah, well, they've accepted the fact that there's no relationship on top of being in a relationship with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
we're the married couple.
Yeah, exactly. They're just the flings.
And I haven't got... I don't know how much you spent on the engagement ring, but I haven't got one yet. And I've been with her for 30 years.
Still using it.
Oh,
fucking ring yet, mate. So...
I've got
like a championship ring.
Yeah. Just like a big solid square championship ring with JRB on it.
I feel like when we sell our first 1 million litres of Jetty Road beer, there should be like a championship ring. Yeah.
I agree.
You're not getting it on total accumulated.
We get one. We get one put out.
Per annum's probably a fair way to go.
Gets me there.
Yeah. Do I get one too?
No chance, mate.
Contributed.
Yeah, okay, fair call.
I was here at the start of the venue and here at the start of the brew house. I have one question left for both of you, and I'm not sure you can answer it first. Whoever's got the best answer can answer it first.
Easy, Blake.
What are you most excited for?
Oh.
This is another one again where each person I think is like, because the good thing about our business for me is that it's diverse, but we also don't try and own other people's areas. So Grant's probably most excited for something completely different to what I'm most excited for.
Yeah.
For me, I'm most excited to become a beer brand in Australia. Where at the moment we've got an amazing venue, we've got beer in the market, but we haven't really released ourselves as a beer brand in Australia. Yeah. I'm looking forward to the next 12 months because that's basically our next idea is to become more prominent on not a national scale, but just within the industry of craft beer to become a name. So that's what I'm excited for. But I'm sure Grant's is similar but different as well.
It's probably very selfish. No.
He's going to buy a second pair of 500.
Oh, I'm definitely buying more.
You only have 2 feet, mate.
It's so comfortable though, and you need to match it with the belt you're wearing. So you need to always think about that. Don't look at me like that. Anyway, moving on. No, I think mine shifts, but what I'm excited for, I think overall is I think the strategy is coming together, which is really exciting.
I heard voices.
Well, mate. No, what's exciting is that the strategy's going well and the growth's a lot bigger than what we expected, and getting the beer and what we are passionate about into the hands of other people, into as many people as possible, whether they're in Victoria, New South Wales, Queensland. There's the dream, but what I'm really excited about in my position as well, and hopefully I can stay in that position and grow the business, but it's to create an organisation where we get people in that are really passionate about their aspect of the business, like Blake is, like the sales guys are, and they believe in it, and they can grow their own business or their aspect of the business, and believe in what we're trying to do as well. So joining the journey. So that's what is exciting about me, because for us, I think any small business, it takes a long time, and it does not just on me. It's a fair bit it is, but it's on everybody to create a well-oiled machine and an organisation that's all swimming together, and that takes fucking so much more time than what anybody else understands. And that's exciting for me, because that's probably my major job role, and that's really starting to come together now, and people are finding their feet and really getting passionate about what they are responsible for and what they can drive forward as part of being part of Jetty Road. So that's mine, and bringing more people on as we grow, and if I can employ 1,000 people that are fucking stoked to be at Jetty Road every day of the week, that's my dream. So that's what I'm excited about, not just about the business, but at the end of the day, being the financial person and the business mind and the operational side of things. I've got to focus on that as well, and that's exciting as well, because that continues to grow, and is making me learn every day about how we manage it and how we grow intelligently. So there's sort of twofold.
Do I get to ask you a question?
Well, you can, but I've got one more question for you. I know I said it was the last question, but I lied. So one of the things you both mentioned before is you don't stop and kind of look back and appreciate how well you've actually done. And that's something that I've been fighting with in terms of my business is actually really enjoying the shit that we've achieved. So my question to finish off with both of you before you ask probably a stupid question to finish off is, what are you most proud of?
Oh, shit.
Most proud of or proud of?
I don't know.
Isn't that the same thing?
Yeah, probably.
It's Friday at 7.
Semantics, mate.
You go. You had an answer. I have to think.
It's such a long week.
I love you too so much.
Oh, yeah. No, I think it is. I've lost it. Doesn't matter. Moving on. The beer. No. I think. Okay. This is cute. This is super cute. It's like we're touching toes in bed.
I'm proud of the fact that we've created not just beer, not just a venue, not just a brand, but I think we've created a family that we kind of wanted to create.
Did you mean to do that? Just tell them what you just did. You took a photo.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You took a selfie, but have a look at what we both did without even looking.
She did the same shit.
It's disgusting. Oh, I'm so off it. I'm out, see ya.
Everyone will see it. It'll be the podcast image, but carry on.
I'm proud of the fact that we're well and truly on the way to creating what we wanted to create, which was a family of people that came together for Jetty Road, and are still pushing forward consistently on the same message.
That's
what I'm proud of. Mostly, it's got nothing to do with beer. I make beer, but also part of the business. And to me, the business and the people involved in it is more important than the beer. It's where
that's cool.
We've got a common goal.
Yeah, I think the common goal thing. I think I said it on my last podcast. When we were talking about the process, and what I think has worked well for us is not wavering from the end goal. And I don't think I'm intentionally and listen to podcasts and trying to learn on how to do things, and that's probably a downfall on not learning from other people, and I try and do that as much as I can, but at the same time I've got a vision in mind, and so does Blake, and I think and that vision is the same, and that's great. But it's also we started thinking we needed 300,000. No, we needed 2.5 million. And that is a massive, massive hurdle. And they're numbers I'm just throwing up in the air, and they're not actual numbers. But if you said that tomorrow, you go, you've raised 300 grand, but you need 2.5. Some people will go, I'm not doing that. How the fuck am I going to get that done? And who do I need to speak to? And how do I structure that? And council's having issues, or we fucked up on this, or we're going to open the venue instead of the brewery first, and we've got a small brewery, and we're going to try and run the venue out of this tiny brewery, or we're going to do it in Dramana, which is pretty quiet. There's always aspects of things that we have gone through, but it's not been something where we've not sat down and gone, are we doing the right thing? It's always been the right thing. There's been no substitute on where we're going and what we're doing. It's just been how we adapt and how flexible we need to be to get and achieve that. So that's what I'm proud of.
If anyone ever asked me the question of what would be your number one piece of advice for someone starting a brewery, it would be do not start a brewery unless you fucking love the industry.
I like
because
that.
You're not.
That goes for any business, right? Like no matter what you do, you need to.
If you're because if you look at enough at craft brewing and all that sort of stuff, people would come here and go, "You guys must be killing it." Like, no, not at all. I eat baked beans 7 days a week, and that is not even taking the piss.
Yeah, but how much do you love baked beans?
I hate baked beans. I've done it for 10 years. Baked beans,
fantastic.
porridge. I got hummus and.
What about the jelly story? So you haven't even tapped into how unstable his individual is. And when he cut off his thumb and he ate jelly for 6 weeks.
That's another podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's 100%.
Basically, it's
100%.
Well, you did change the pale ale recipe like last minute, right?
Yes. Now we're going into that. Okay, so there was a couple of different pale ales that I basically brewed a few different ones, and then did a tasting with the dude sitting next to me and some other people, and I said, "Which one do you reckon?" And they picked one, and then the day before I brewed the actual first Jetty Road, I changed it and went to what we currently have, which is
Pretty good.
well, it seems to be going all right.
I enjoy it.
Again, had I not changed it, maybe it was better. I don't know. It was just a decision I made last minute. It was a basic malt. It was the hops. Everything was the same. It was some malt flick that I kind of did just to kind of try and give the hops more presence.
I don't know what I'm tasting, but I like it, so I think it works. So
And
bravo.
that's the whole point about it.
Yeah.
Just if you like drinking it, drink it.
Yeah.
That's the exciting part about it. And what's cool about it is that things that, you go to Mornington Brewery and their beers are different and they've got a totally different look on how they brew their beers. And it's awesome to be able to go 15 minutes down the road and try something different. Instead of getting the same bullshit CUB crap in every pub. Fuck them. we can end on that.
That's a good way to finish. And I'm not blowing smoke. I'm not pumping your tires up for the sake of pumping your tires up, but your pale's kind of ruined beer for me because every time, like, I'm a footballer, so we drink a lot of draft and things of that nature. And having your pale is kind of like, okay, this is something else.
We have two people involved in our business that, when we first started this, basically drank Furphy and draft. First year we took them to Gabs. They're like, I don't get this sour beer, and then took them the second year.
Yeah.
Their favourite beer was a sour beer and a 100% Britannomyces fermented IPA.
You just said all of the words that no one understands.
Yeah.
But
You speak English?
keep going. No, you tried beers they didn't usually try.
Let me
Pale ale, like everyone, pale ale in the craft industry is the gateway drug to all other drugs.
It's
Once you try pale ale, like you go from one. Draft is the standard beer that everyone has because that's what the market was requiring 10, 20 years ago, right? Pale ale is now that beer that is close enough to be able to try and easy and approachable enough for you to give it a go. And once you give it a go, you go, I've had something different, I'm going to try something else. And then suddenly you're drinking IPAs. And I put money on it. If we did one of these in 12 months' time, you'll drink an IPA.
We're getting passionate.
Will it be an actual IPA that's like 6% plus, or will
Probably
it be
not. Probably not. We'll do the standard one, the 5.8.
By then I'll have 2 IPAs on tap.
Will one be an actual IPA?
Yes. The only reason that we've got a 5.8% IPA and it's lower everywhere is that our beer is supposed to be a transitional thing. So you said you didn't drink pale ale 12 months ago. Like,
No, I definitely did.
My idea is in 12 months that person drinks this, and in 12 months that person drinks this. So
it's a revolution.
Our IPA to me is the next gateway. Every beer that I brew is for a reason. It's 5.8 for a reason. It's
Holy shit.
it's lower on hop.
One of the things I say is like, everything we do in the gym is like we do it for a reason. That was freaky.
So do I get to ask my question?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you any more lads?
Yes.
What do you got for me?
I feel like you and me, I think all three of us have a fairly similar philosophy of things. It's
We do.
create family, create purpose, create everything that is good, and the rest kind of takes care of itself. I've only just started frequenting Vertus, and probably not enough.
It's been an absolute pleasure, but you've had a busy couple of weeks.
Being the breweries going in, I've not been there as much as I like, but I feel like you're kind of nailing it.
Thanks, mate. You're pandering a bit.
Is there a question?
Yeah,
Or you just gonna
yeah.
continue to, give me a compliment, which is unusual.
I'm kind of building him up to try and then...
Good, knock him down. Knock him the fuck off that chair because we're actually sitting on kegs.
What's next? Like I feel like you're doing it.
It's a good question.
So how do you improve on what I feel like you're doing? Because Grant's been going for how long?
Buckle in. No,
Nearly a year?
Sorry, yeah. About nearly a year, maybe.
Yeah, so
Took a long time.
you started about a month after we did the podcast.
Yeah, Jan. Yeah.
So it would have been end of Jan, probably start of Feb where you started. What's next? To be honest, I'm at the stage now where I struggle to answer that question more than I ever have. And our kind of vision is we want to make every individual's world a better place, every individual who comes into our facility a better place. And that sounds a bit wanky, but
It's going to sound, I was about to say, this is going to sound wanky, but you definitely have done it for me in a couple of weeks.
stop it.
It hasn't been this week, so that's fine.
He didn't rock up this week.
I haven't kissed Grant, I haven't kissed Lockie. So everyone
Yet.
can't say.
So one of the things that I've always kind of said, and I come from I'm a coach, right? Like I don't come from a business background, so I probably need to spend more time with Grant talking rubbish about numbers and stuff. But but I kind of always looked at it like, okay, we'll go bigger, right? We'll get another one, we'll get a bigger facility, we'll get a bigger space where we can do more things, or we'll go another one, so we'll get a separate space and we'll have 2 spaces and 3 spaces and 4 spaces, whatever. Vertices. Verti.
I like that better.
Yeah.
And then we'll do that, right? We'll do the same thing as what we've got. But to be honest, right now I feel as though we're going to add the most value and we're going to live truest to our values and our meaning by really diving into improving the way we do things at where we are. So I think what's next is just nailing down what our product is, what we're actually trying to deliver, who we're actually trying to help, how we're actually trying to help them, and then just adding value to this. Like it's small in the scale of, the industry or the world or whatever, but adding as much value as possible to the people that we see on a weekly basis.
I think like from your answer just then, and again that wasn't rehearsed, but like we spoke earlier about all the people that
Podcast, mate, nothing's rehearsed. Stop saying that.
The people that you were against earlier on in the fitness industry, and the polar opposite of that. And like that was a question without notice that you answered. You could have said be bigger, do more, and that's exactly what they say. But you just went, you know what, I want to be better at what we're doing.
Yeah, and I think the longer I spend doing this, the more I kind of go from wanting to be bigger is to more wanting to be better in the people that we're serving and the people that we're helping, so that we can make sure that everyone is getting what they need. And we've been fortunate enough to be able to create a community of people that I see sometimes. Like I don't have to help a lot of people now because they're helping each other. That's your mouse. And it's one of those things that I am able to, something that you guys need to work on a little bit, is I'm able to sit back and stop and take a breath and kind of realize how far we've come in the fact that sometimes, whether it's another coach or another client or another member of the Vertus family, everyone's kind of helping each other. And it's just, we live in 2018 is kind of a weird time where we've got so much connection in terms of social media and online presence that we miss the importance of actual face-to-face contact and improvement. And I think that's the thing that, whether it's Virtus, it's a pub without beer, or whether it's Common Folk, that's a local business of a hub of just activity, or whether it's Jetty Road, that's a pub with beer. They're three, and
trying to make communities within communities.
Well, the thing I've realised that we're all trying to do the same shit. We're trying to create a community. We're trying to create a group of people and a whole family of people that just want the best for each other. And if we want that, and if we continue to work towards that and continue to drive that, I really like what you said before about size. Like, size doesn't matter. If we continue to live by those values and drive by those values, then everyone's going to win. And if everyone wins, then the world's a better place. And if the world's a better place, then I'm happy.
100%.
It's been an absolute pleasure, lads.
Always a pleasure, never a chore.
Be good.
If not, be good at it.
Unless it's Tuesday night, then it's chill.
How good is that? I got it in the podcast. Suck a dick.